So we just had very good financial numbers, very low inflation. We brought costs way down, and the numbers were surprising, except to me, they weren't surprising. So the inflation numbers that just announced, as you know, are way down, and we have it back in track. We had the worst inflation in the history of our country, and now we have very modest inflation, which is what you want to have.
Mr. President, are you anticipating?
Thank you, Mr. President, why hasn't the FBI taken over the Nancy Guthrie case as the lead investigator? Do you have any updates on how that's going?
Well, they took it over originally. You know, it was a local case originally, and they didn't want to let go of it, which is fine. It's up to them. It's really up to the community. But ultimately, when the FBI got involved, I think, progress has been made. Complicated case.
Mr. President, are you anticipating cutting a deal with Democrats to end the potential shutdown for DHS?
We'll see what happens. We always have to protect our law enforcement. It's very important. They've done a great job. Remember, they've taken out hundreds of thousands of criminals out of our country, and we have the best crime numbers we've ever had, and everywhere. Murder numbers, crime numbers of any kind. We have the best numbers. We've taken out hundreds of thousands of criminals out of our country. We have to protect our law enforcement.
Are you talking to the Democrats?
Mr. President, Mr. President, considering land strikes on Mexico, Colombia, and Venezuela?
What about it?
Land strikes, are you planning?
Don't worry about it.
Mr. President, do you still have a veto on Nouri al-Maliki to become the Iraqi Prime Minister?
We're looking at a prime minister. We're going to see what's going to happen. We've got some ideas on it. But in the end, everybody needs the U.S. Everybody needs us.
Are you planning to hold anyone accountable
lying about his relationship with
down in El Paso?
The second aircraft carrier that you decided to send, talk about why you made that choice.
Well, in case we don't make a deal, we'll need it.
Are you worried?
We'll need it. If we have a deal, we could cut it short. It'll be leaving very soon. We have one out there that just arrived. If we need it, we have it ready. A very big force.
Has there been any progress in Ukraine negotiations? Do you still demand Zelensky has to hold elections before summer?
Zelenskyy's going to have to get moving. Russia wants to make a deal, and Zelenskyy's going to have to get moving. Otherwise, he's going to miss a great opportunity. He has to move.
Mr. President, are you going to hold anyone
Netanyahu will receive.
Mr. President, are you personally involved in these negotiations over DHS funding, and where do you see room for compromise?
Well, but you have to remember, if you look at Homeland Security, if you look at what they've done, if you look at what ICE has done at Border Patrol, we have the safest border in the history of our country. Nobody comes in other than if they come in legally. If you remember, just a little while ago, a year and a half ago, for a 4-year period, they allowed 25 million people in our country. Many of these people are murderers and drug dealers, horrible things. We've gotten a lot of them out. We now have the best records in the history of our country on crime. It was just announced our crime numbers are the best in 125 years. So I am here to protect law enforcement and our great police and ICE and Border Patrol and everybody. I'm here to protect them because they're protecting us. And the job they've done is incredible.
Do you believe Prime Minister Netanyahu will receive a pardon?
I do think so, yes.
Do you still have confidence in Kristi Noem, Mr. President, despite the reports of chaos?
We have low crime numbers, the answer is.
Duffy's handling of the airspace closure over El Paso. Are you pleased with Sean Duffy's handling of the airspace closure over El Paso?
The way it happened. People learn, people learn.
On Greenland, on European leaders' hypocrisy. Greenland doesn't want Europe controlling them anymore. What's your message to them, to those European leaders' hypocrisy?
Greenland's going to want us, but we get along very well with Europe. We'll see how it all works out. We're negotiating right now for Greenland.
Mr. President, do you think the cartels are at all involved in Nancy Guthrie's case or another nation state potentially?
Can't say that yet. It's a little bit early, but it's somebody either knew what they were doing very well or they were rank amateurs. Either way, it's not a good situation.
What is your message to European leaders in Munich Security Conference?
Great relationship with them. If it wasn't for me, they'd be paying 2% and not paying. Instead, they're paying 5% and they're paying. We have a very good relationship with NATO.
How confident are you that our negotiations with Iran will be successful?
I think they'll be successful, and if they're not, it's going to be a bad day for Iran. Very bad.
Are you actively talking with Democrats right now about a DHS shutdown? How painful do you expect that to be?
But, you know, we have to protect law enforcement. ICE has done a phenomenal job. Border Patrol, we have a closed border for the first time in history. We have to protect law enforcement, our police, our Border Patrol, ICE, and others in law enforcement. And I'm very much, look, I know what they want. I know what they can live with. The Democrats have gone crazy. They're radical left lunatics. That's why their cities are so unsafe. The blue cities are the cities that are unsafe. So we have to protect our law enforcement.
Mr. President,
you just lifted sanctions on Venezuelan oil. What are the next steps, and when are you going to host Zelenskiy?
Well, we have a very good relationship with the president of Venezuela. As you know, we're working together very closely. We have our big oil companies going in. They're going to be taking out the oil and selling the oil for a lot of money, and Venezuela is going to get a big part of that money. And the relationship we have right now with Venezuela is, I would say, a 10.
Mr. President,
the biggest beneficiary will be the people of Venezuela.
On Venezuela, will you be recognizing Delcy Rodriguez's government as the official government of Venezuela?
Well, right now we have done that. We're dealing with them, and really, right now they've done a great job. Delcy's done a very, very good job, and the relationship is strong. The oil is coming out, and a lot of money is being paid for oil by other nations, and we're taking care of it. We're refining it, and we're the only one that has the capability to refine it. Right now, the relationship with Venezuela is as good as it can be.
When are you planning to visit Venezuela, sir?
I'm going to make a visit to Venezuela. We haven't decided. Are you from Venezuela?
From Colombia, sir. We share a border with Venezuela.
We just had a good meeting with you.
With the president of Colombia.
President, on the Munich Security Conference, what is your message to Europe and to the leaders?
The only message is we have a great relationship with NATO. We're a very powerful part of NATO. The people that are the heads of the countries, the various countries that we're talking about, they're all friends of mine.
Mr. President, you just mentioned the meeting with the president of Colombia, Mr. President.
Congress back in town?
To meet with the North Korean Kim Jong-un this year.
Mr. President, do you have a deadline for Iran, Mr. President? Do you have a deadline for Iran? Do you have any deadline for Iran?
I do, yeah.
Thank you. Mr. President, Rwanda just violated the peace agreement. What are you going to do about it? You told me last time that there will be consequences. They continue to kill a lot of Congolese people in DRC.
We'll take a look at it.
Are you happy with the current situation in Syria after the deal that you brokered?
The president of Syria is doing a very good job. He's unifying the country. We're very happy with the job he's doing. He's doing a great job for the people of Syria. He's unifying the country. Thank you.
I want to show you the evidence.
Come on, Brian, let's go.
Look what they're doing. Hey, step back. First of all, pretty strong economic numbers going into 26. Stock market, 50,000. You said it could go to 100,000 plus.
Great numbers today on inflation.
I was going to say, what's the outlook for the remainder of 26? Do you think?
I think we're going to have 100,000 by the time I leave office and at the end of my term. I think we're going to be at 100,000, the Dow. And if you remember, when I was first elected, everybody said, if I got it to 50,000, the Dow, or 7,000 with the S&P, if I got it to 50,000 with the Dow, that would be amazing. That would be in 4 years from then, from the election. I got it at 50,000 the last day of my first year. So I'm I'm pretty early. I think we have a great chance of doing very substantially higher numbers. The country is doing well. We have the hottest country anywhere in the world by far. And the inflation numbers that just came out moments ago were actually incredible. Prices are way down. Inflation is way down. far lower than anyone thought could have happened in a period of 1 year.
Mr. President, to show you. I have a lot to show you.
Are there any concessions you're willing to make with ICE, about ICE or about immigration enforcement?
It's in favor of our law enforcement. ICE has done an amazing job. We've taken up hundreds of thousands of horrible criminals, including murders. We had 11,888 murderers. A lot of them have been found and removed from our country. We have the lowest crime number. We have the best crime numbers we've had, you won't believe this one, 125 years. From the year 1900, we have the best crime numbers that we've had in 125 years. I have a great loyalty to ICE, to Border Patrol, to our police, to, frankly, our firemen, etc. Thank you.
Has the economy turned a corner?
I think so. We're at 50,000. We're at 7,000 with S&P. And if you remember, and they can say it any way they want, they said if Trump, by the end of his term, 4 years, would get the number of Dow number to 50,000, it would be a miracle. It would be I got it in 1 year to 50,000. Think of it, in 1 year. And I got S&P, which is actually harder, to 7,000, which they said would be impossible to do even within 4 years. And I got it in 1 year.
Do you think Democrats?
The economy is doing unbelievable. We right now have the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Do you think Democrats are president?